If you strike us, we will strike you. There is no place in Iran that the long arm of Israel cannot reach. And that's true of the entire Middle East. Far from being lambs led to the slaughter, Israel's soldiers have fought back with incredible courage and with heroic sacrifice. And I have another message for this assembly and for the world outside this hall. We are winning.
I have a message for the long arm of Mr. Netanyahu, which is that it's the U.S. Air Force, it's the U.S. military, it's the U.S. Navy, it's not you.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Z's Political Couch. Netanyahu struts on the world stage boasting about Israel's long arm of power. But who's really winning? Not the people of Israel or Palestine. It's the war machine, the trillion-dollar war machine, feasting on endless bloodshed. He paints Israel as a noble warrior, but the reality is a horror show, massacre of innocents, blockade, starving civilians of food, water, and medicine, and war crimes, piling up faster than he could spin them. Professor Jeffrey Sachs calls it as it is. No fluff, no spin. This isn't about security or self-defense, it's about domination and expansion. And the real kicker, the US is bankrolling it all while its own people struggle. Hypocrisy much? Professor Sachs is going to call it like it is. Sit back and let's watch him unload about
Netanyahu. It's the United States, and you're dragging us into your wars so that you can dominate millions of Palestinian people and deny them their rights. It's not your long arm. It happens to be ours. The fact that the Israel lobby has manipulated our politics long enough is the reason you stand there and say that. But to say that precisely when the president of Iran has spoken exactly the opposite and called for peace, rapprochement, reconciliation, and anyone can go online and look under the UN General Assembly, look it up on Google and type in the General Assembly and find the speech of the Iranian president and compare that with the speech of Netanyahu, you'll be very surprised who speaks about peace and who speaks about war and who brags because they have the U.S. military in their pocket. It's really amazing, and it's very dangerous.
All the hostility directed at Israel this year, it's not about Gaza. It's about Israel. It's always been about Israel's very existence. And I say to you, until the Jewish state is treated like other nations, until this anti-Semitic swamp is drained, the UN will be viewed by fair-minded people everywhere as nothing more than a contemptuous farce.
Every line a lie, every line a lie. The Arab and Islamic states said in Riyadh last November, 2 states side by side, living in peace, security for both. The Arab League said the same thing this spring in Bahrain. 2 states living side by side in peace. Netanyahu doesn't want 2 states living side by side in peace. That's the bottom line that needs to be understood. Israel's not looking for security. It's looking to crush the foe. This isn't about finding a way to peace. This isn't about finding a way for 2 peoples to live peacefully side by side, which is what international law calls for and requires. This is about Israel dominating the entire region. And that's the big lie of all of this. This isn't about anti-Semitism. This isn't about Israel's security. This is about Israel, what they call Greater Israel. And when Netanyahu showed a map as he stood there, you could see it, by the way. He showed a map of Israel with no Palestine on that map. The map pointed to Israel, which would be all of the territory from the Jordan to the sea. So Gaza, the West Bank, East Jerusalem, the Golan, all of that was shown as Israel on Netanyahu's map. That's the point. Why is the United States in that business, for heaven's sake? At risk of the whole world for that business because some absolutely extremist, and many of them extremist religious fundamentalists think that some 7th century BCE text promised them that land, and so they're going to keep it no matter whether the world goes to war, no matter what happens to the United States or anyone else. Yes, that's the map. And if you look at the map that he's holding in the right hand that says the curse, if one gets close to that, it shows Israel as controlling all of the territory.
Right.
This is the point. And that's what this is about. They're not looking for one moment at a political way out. And that long arm of Israel, again, yeah, that's the American Sixth Fleet. That's the American armaments that we ship every day. That's the American bombs. That's the American intelligence. That's the American satellites that are guiding Israel's bombs to their precise assassination addresses. Now, come on. This is us. Why are we complicit in this to our own danger? Exactly. You know, this is the students are getting attacked when they protest Israel for that statement, but that's Israel's complete plan, is from the river to the sea.
Right.
And the answer is there are two peoples, there are two lands, there's international law, there's the International Court of Justice, there are dozens of General Assembly and Security Council resolutions over the last 57 years. None of it matters to Netanyahu and his gangsters. And why is the United States playing this game?
Because of the donor class in the United States and its iron grip on the American government.
And you look at it's both Harris and Trump. They fall all over each other to say who's going to be more loyal to the Israel lobby.
Right.
They compete. That's their main competition. You're not loyal enough. I'm loyal. I'm going to do everything. They can have complete control over U.S. policy. Israel kills the negotiators. Who are the negotiators? Haniya, he was killed. They don't want peace. They're not looking for that. Yeah, they want a 1 week or 2 week ceasefire to get their hostages home so that Israel can resume the war. What they don't want is a permanent ceasefire. That would ruin everything, wouldn't it? If you're trying to win, and he said, we'll win. It's very mature. Oh, my word. What a peace-loving man. We'll win. The long arm of Israel. We can reach anyone. We can reach Iran. We can reach throughout the whole Middle East. Absolutely, somebody should wake up in the United States and say, hey, we have a country. We have our own interests. We have policies. And we have to judge what we have our military used for. Yeah, you and I don't get our reelection funds from the Israel lobby. This is, they stand up and cheer so that they can get more money pouring into their reelection campaigns.
Right.
This is, and by the way, Israel has basically, the people in the government, I'm sorry to tell everybody, but this is really not thinking about U.S. interests. And that's why you hear the mumbling, which is literally mumbling. They know it's not in America's interest. They know that they can't speak straight to the American people about any of this. They don't want to tell the American people that our policy is run by Israel. They don't want to admit it, but they don't want to say it out loud either, because that, we're a few weeks before the election.
Right.
And so Netanyahu is, he's manipulating all of this, but it's incredibly dangerous. And I would say, Judge, that it's similar to Ukraine, that we have $1 trillion a year military machine. And I wouldn't even say it's out for hire. We give it away to others for whatever strange purposes, because someone gets involved in some other country because of the lobbying. But we give away a $1 trillion military machine for, a few $100 million of campaign contributions. It's a hell of a bargain they bought into.
Yes.
but how ridiculous and sad and dangerous for the United States.
Netanyahu was out here cosplaying global superhero with Israel's long arm, but let's cut the CGI. Nobody's buying it. The real winners, the war machine, chomping on conflict like it's forever Happy Meal. Hero? Nah. Try horror movie villain. Kids starving, hospitals bombed, and war crimes piling up faster than his PR team could say spin. Shout out to Professor Sachs for spitting straight fire. This ain't about safety. It's a land grab with the side of US tax dollars. Meanwhile, back in America, why is my gas bill at $900? So what's the takeaway? Hypocrisy is alive and thriving, folks. Hit that like button if you're over the drama. Drop a comment if you got the receipts, and stay loud. The truth got no mute button. Peace out.